Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be the 16 books I read in December. Am I a psychopath? Probably. How did I read 16 books in the month of December? I don't know. And they're all full-size books. Like, none of them are like novellas or short stories or anything. Like, what was I doing? I don't know. But I read 16 books, 1 nonfiction book, 4 dystopian books, 7 romance books, 1 classic, 1 historical fiction, 1 fiction, and 1 fantasy. So, lots of genres. But we're gonna get right into this because it's probably gonna take me a while. But, yeah, I'm very happy with the 16 books I read because they're not short books. Like, these are long books. Like, regular size. I'm like, how did I read 16? I don't know. But, yeah, let's get right into it. I need your water. Alright. First up, I read The Maze Runner by James Dashner. I watched the movie first several years ago, and I've watched it several times since. Never read the book. And I had not the best expectations, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It's perfect dystopian book. It follows Thomas, and Thomas is chucked into this maze with all these other guys, and he can only remember his name. And so can all the other guys. They can only remember their name. And when Thomas goes, it kind of disrupts things. Like, the monsters from the maze start being different, and just, they're trying to get out of this maze. Very good book. I rated it 4.75 stars. I felt like I was there. Like, I was in it. Like, like, if you're not a reader, you don't understand this feeling, but oh my gosh, I was so immersed. I read Modern Villains. This was for school, and it is a nonfiction book. Now, technically, I read the majority of this in November. I started it, like, the start of November and finished it at the start of December. So, technically, I read the majority of it in November, but I finished it in December, so it counts. This just talks about, like, villains in, like, real-world villains, like Karl Marx and Hitler and all them. So, yeah, it's nonfiction, educational. I don't rate nonfiction usually, so no rating for this. But, yeah, Modern Villains by the Tuttle Twins, or Connor Boyack, whatever. I read Snow Globe for book club. I don't recommend it. It's another dystopian book, but it's set in a world where the average temperature is like 5 degrees in summertime, and in wintertime it's like -50. Celebrities live in this heated snow globe, and they have to act in shows, and then people outside the snow globe in the cold get to watch the shows from the snow globe. And then one of the main actors in one of the shows dies, and our main character looks just like her, so they take her and make her act like this person. I really didn't, I mean, it was okay. It's translated from Chinese or Japanese, and it's just, it kind of got lost along the way, I think, and the names were very confusing because they were all in Japanese, and I just couldn't keep straight anything. And it just kind of, like, a lot of loose plot threads, but I rated this 3 stars. Then I read Let It Snow by John Green with my friend Violet, and I annotated each short story in a different color. This is a short story collection by 3 different authors, set on Christmas Eve during a snowstorm. Each story, they're kind of all interconnected, but they all follow different characters during the snowstorm. I really like this. It's just got, it's written in 2000, so it's kind of got some of that 2000s stuff in it, but other than that, it was really good, and I thought it was good romance, and yeah, I rated this 4 stars. Then I read Dash and Lily's Book of Dares. This was recommended to me by a friend, so I decided to pick it up. This was okay. It had a really cool premise. It was Lily's brother wanted her to find a boyfriend, so she makes up this notebook of, like, dares, I guess, and puts it on her favorite bookshelf at her favorite bookstore. And then it switches point of views to Dash, and Dash picks it up and does these dares. And then they kind of like pass a notebook around, like doing dares or daring each other to do stuff, but they don't meet. I don't know. It was just like some stuff that was kind of like, I don't want this in my books, you know? But like, I don't know, like some content that I was like kind of like, and some stuff I didn't agree with. But it was alright. I rated this 3.5 stars. Then I read The Christmas Ring by Karen Kingsbury, my first Karen Kingsbury book. This follows Vanessa, and Vanessa has a Christmas ring family heirloom, and she recently lost her husband, and so it's just her and her daughter now, and they're on a ski trip, and she loses the ring. Then it jumps a few years later, and she's still looking for this ring. She's just so upset that she lost her ring and trying to find it, and her daughter's going off to college, and she's finding someone else that she might be falling in love with. And it's just very good book. I really liked it. I rated this 4.5 stars. Then I read The Book Thief, and this is a historical fiction set in 1939 Germany, and it is written through Death's point of view, which is kind of interesting, like Death watching you until it's time for him to take you away. And this follows Liesel, a little girl, who Death describes as the book thief because she loves to read and steals books. And it's just her growing up in this war and government, and yeah, I really liked it. I listened to the majority of it over audiobook, and just really good book, and it was so sad, and I really loved it. 4.75 stars. I read Some Like It Cold, and again, recommended to me by another friend. This is a Christmas romance book, and it follows Jasper, and Jasper just was coming back to town for Christmas, the holidays, and to tell her parents and her whole small town that loves her that she's dropping out of college and she's moving away. And then her sister gets proposed to when she comes home, so it's just them waiting for the wedding. Then it also follows Arthur, who doesn't like Jasper because of some other reasons, and he's filming a documentary on the town and her family, who's kind of toxic. So this was decent. Again, some content I don't really enjoy in my books, and some stuff I don't agree with, but I did like it for the majority. Some Like It Cold, I rated 4.25 stars. I read Daisy Jones and the Six. Love this book. It was very good. It's written in like, is it called script? I don't know, but it's like each of the characters talks, or like interview style. That's what I'm trying to say, interview style. This follows a band in the 70s and just how they came together, but also how they broke apart and all the drama, and yeah, just a lot of drugs and drinking and all that. But I rated this 4.25 stars. I had a wonderful time reading this. I read Romance and Peppermint Lattes. This is my grandma's book, which she is giving to me, but it's hers, but it's sitting on my shelf. I don't know. But this is two romance stories, two Christmas romance stories, following different characters, kind of interwoven a teeny bit, but this was good. This includes Here Comes Trouble and The Forgetful Bride. I'm not going to describe them too much, but I enjoyed them for the most part. It was just some of the stuff, like miscommunication stuff. It was just like, what? But, so yeah, 3.75 stars for this one. I really like the cover. It's really cute. And I read A Christmas Bargain, which is, yeah, I had such low expectations for this because we got it as a free gift in a Walmart order. So I was like, but I read it. And it's so good. I really like this book. It follows a recently single mom because her husband passed away, and she's got an 18-month-old baby, and she inherits this big Christmas tree farm and house. So she goes to live there, and the neighbor is this handsome single guy, and she asks him to like help her with stuff because turns out that the old owner of this house she inherited like stole some of his land. So yeah, but obviously it's romancy and Christmassy, short, good, great. I rated this 4.25 stars. I read A Heart for Christmas, which I read this from December 1st to 24th, because every day you could open a chapter. Obviously, they're all open now. This kind of sucked, honestly, but thank you, Mommy, for buying it for me. She doesn't watch my videos, but thanks, Mom, for buying me this book. Anyways, so this follows April, and April had a heart transplant a year and a half ago, and her and her mom are kind of hard on her to, like, be careful, eat good, blah blah blah, can't move, blah blah blah, be careful, blah blah, all this stuff. And then she goes to stay with her dad in the mountains at the ski resort or whatever, I don't know, because for Christmas, and she sees her friend's brother again for the first time in 3 years, and then there's a spark there, and she's also getting out of her comfort zone. It was okay. I rated 3 stars. I read City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. Ooh, I really like this book. I think it's going to be a great series. Yeah, this follows Clary, and Clary can see shadow hunters. She's at a party, and she sees these guys take another guy and take him to a room, and they're gonna kill him. So she's like, no, don't kill him, why are you killing him? And then they're like, you can see us? And so then the journey begins, and her mom gets taken by demons, and so she's swept up in the shadow hunters, and they're trying to find her mom. Romance, plot twists, fantasy, werewolves, vampires, monsters, demons. Great. 4 stars. I read Matched. This is another dystopian. First off, I got this for Christmas Eve from my cousin, and it was all wrapped up. It was all mysterious. We did a book exchange where we wrapped up the covers, and then we have to, like, black out what it was and all this stuff, and, like, read it and try and guess what the book is. She hasn't read mine yet, but I read hers, obviously, and I was 50 pages in, and I'm like, I think this sounds like a book that my friend Cooper was reading. Matched. So then I looked it up and accidentally saw the description said that the main character's name was Cassia. So I was like, it's it. So then I unwrapped it. But yeah, Matched. Dystopian. Girl named Cassia. She turned 17, so it is her time to be matched to her forever partner. Now at 17, you're either marked as a single for the rest of your life, marked as a abnormality, I think is how you say it. Like, almost like bad, but not bad enough to be like shunned, I guess, or you're matched with your forever match. And she is matched. I'm not gonna tell you who, because that's part of the fun, but then it follows her kind of falling in love with someone else, which is forbidden, and also going against the government that's controlling everyone's every move. I rated this 4.5 stars. Then I read To Kill a Mockingbird. This was also for school. Sorry if you can hear my dad shoveling outside. He's shoveling the front walkway. It snowed last night. Anyways, To Kill a Mockingbird for school. This was good. It was it was written in 1960, so it's one of the best written classics I've read. But this follows a little girl named, they call her Scout, and it's just her going through life and, like, seeing racism happen, like, and I don't know, like, there's mystery aspect, and just, it was decent. I rated it 3.5 stars. Last but not least, I read yet another dystopian, The Giver. And I had expectations for this, but I really, really enjoyed it. It follows this little boy named Jonas, and in every year up until you're 12, you get something new each year, but he's about to turn 12, and when at 12 you get assigned your job for the rest of your life. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's dystopian. They're like, the government's controlling you, all this stuff, but then he gets assigned his job, and it's basically following that. And I rated this 4.5 stars. Loved it. Instantly bought the other 3 books. Same with Matched. After I finished that, instantly bought the other 2 books. So I have a slight addiction to books, if you didn't know. I bet you could tell already. But yeah, those are the 16 books I read in December. I can't believe I read that many. And I read a lot of good ones. So yeah, that is all. And make sure you go watch all my other new videos that are coming out or have come out. But yeah, that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know your favorite book of December. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Make sure you like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to. And yeah, have a good rest of your day. Peace! And she's just little girl as a what is my dad doing? He's filling a bird feeder. What is he doing? Oh my. I don't know. But